Hi, friends. Welcome. I decided to pop on here today because I wanted to just share something about the new year and also just say Happy New Year to you. I hope you had a beautiful holiday season with your friends and family, and I hope this new year is getting off to a beautifully fresh start for you. And I personally love the new year. I love myself a good fresh start, and I always really love to reflect back on the year that I had and any shifts or pivots that I can make to really help myself feel better, more alive, more juicy, more inspired to do the things that I want to do and create what I want to create. So, I wanted to jump on here and share some of my shifts for the new year because they have been huge this year as I've discovered some really awesome new things about myself. And I've discovered this system, sort of like astrology, but it's called human design. And so I'm going to share a little bit about that and how that has influenced my new approach, I would say, to 2022. So, if you're friends with me on Instagram, you probably saw my latest post, or if you didn't, you might want to go check it out, where I shared a little bit about the new mindset shift that I'm having going into the new year. If you're not friends with me on Instagram yet, I highly recommend coming over and saying hi. I post more like daily stuff over there, although not every day, but yeah, so the link is in the description to get connected with me on Instagram. I'm at Erinn with two N's. So I'd love to just jump in. I shared a poll on the on my Instagram asking if people would be interested in seeing a video like this, where I share a little bit about my 2022 uh, goals, for lack of a better word. I wouldn't really call it that though. So I guess what I'll say, is that in the past, I have really approached life and my goals and the things that I desire from a place of like, how do I make it happen? How do I like press my will upon the universe so that what I want gets created? And what I've recently realized, especially in last year, as 2021 was a really intense, dark year for me. My family had a lot of intense injuries. My dad got in a really bad biking accident. My mom had an injury. I broke my wrist. So there was a lot of other things too, but it was just a really deep year for me, and it sort of felt like it was the end of a lot of different cycles, painful cycles that I've been living out in my life, and it felt like a lot of those painful cycles were sort of coming to completion. So, one of those cycles that I feel has come to a completion is my sort of approach on, like I was saying, forcing my will on the universe or trying to make things happen. For me, that is what I've been taught my whole life, what I believe our culture teaches us, especially if you're in like the United States. That's where I live, so that's what I can speak to. And what I feel is that we live in a highly masculine culture, and we're taught to just do, push, 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 manifest, and just make it happen. And while that I believe works for some people, for me, that feels highly draining and exhausting, and has really, beyond that, like not even been effective. Not been effective for me in my life to really create the things that I want to create. I feel like all the things that I've created that have happened really beautifully and naturally and have been in highest alignment with my soul and my heart, those have all been things that sort of just like bumped into me, that came into my life when I was in a really good place. And instead of me making it happen or pushing on the universe, it was actually more of a receptive state. It was more of me leaning back and things sort of being magnetized in. So, what I want to share for a little bit more context around this, and what I've learned, and how I realized actually that that doesn't work for me beyond a lot of resistance and things not manifesting the way I want is my discovery of this system called human design. So I have this book right here that I'm working on or working through right now that is amazing. I have the link in the description as well if you want to look more into it. Also, I have the link to discover your human design type. You can like pull a free profile from online from, I think there's a few different sites actually, but I've linked one below in the description. And basically, in human design, there are a few different types, they call them. There are projectors, generators, manifesting generators, manifestors, and reflectors. And so all of these different types sort of tells us like how we're designed, how we're wired to interact with the universe, and how we're wired to like what our strategy is to create what we want essentially and to interact with the world around us. So for me, I am a pure generator, not a manifesting generator, a generator. And the thing about generators is we're not built to initiate. That would be what a manifester would do. A manifester is their strategy is to initiate, to create, to jump out, to like have an idea and then to go initiate it out in the world, right? So for me as a generator, the strategy is to respond. And so it is this idea of generators having this beautiful energy and aura that attracts things into our world. And then we get to feel in our bodies, is it a yes or is it a no? And so we are literally responding to things that are happening instead of initiating. So when I learned that, I was like, oh my God, that makes complete sense because I have been trying to create my life and create my business from a place of initiating. And it has been highly, highly draining, as I said. So, one of the things that I'm focusing on this year, and instead of like setting goals of like things I want to do and focusing on like the doing, I am focusing on my being. I am focusing on nurturing and cultivating and growing that inner juicy energy from within me because generators, they have this natural energy that comes through, and that energy is what pulls things in to our experience for us to say yes or no to, for us to respond to. Thank you for bearing with me too. I have to say that I'm not an expert in this. I've just been learning this for about the past year or so, and I've just gotten really excited and really passionate about it. So I just want a disclaimer that I'm not an expert in this. I'm about a year deep in my studies, and I just have found it really profound, really helpful, really resonant. And I just found I've learned so much about myself that I never really realized before. So just that disclaimer I want to give. So anyways, so as a generator, I am meant to be like emanating my beautiful energy and aura out into the world. And that's what pulls things into my world for me to say yes or no to. So instead of this year focusing on doing and like creating a to-do list and creating a goal, which feels very highly masculine to me, for me, I'm focusing on doing things, okay, I am doing, but doing things that nurture and cultivate that natural energy flow within me. And instead of going and doing, I am focusing on the being, and that being that being, that juiciness from within me will pull in opportunities, connections, people, etc. So that is a big shift for me, as I said, because I've grown up in a highly masculine culture that's taught me that you create results by doing. And for me, that really hasn't worked. It hasn't been resonant. And I'm more of a feminine being that needs to focus on being in my joyful energy, and then things will come into my world. So I have okay, segue. The other thing that I'm focused on is creating structure for myself because I work from home. I work for myself. My husband and I have a company where we create videos for healers, creatives, artists, teachers out in the world who are doing beautiful work. And so we work from home. We're our own bosses. We make our own schedules. We have one of the things I heard, I forget from who, but they were saying that the curse and the blessing of working for yourself is that you have unlimited vacation days, which is a beautiful thing but can also be a very, very challenging thing. So I have found, and I've gotten this reflected to me through a human design reading I just had, and also an astrology reading I recently had, that said that I really would benefit from some structure, and that actually having structure will be really helpful and nourishing for me. So when I heard that, I felt in my body that's a yes. Actually, yeah, having structure does feel really good for me. And it has been really challenging for the last 8 to 10 years that I've been working for myself from home mostly, that it has been hard for me not having any structure or accountability. So I have been, um, so what I decided to do was to get myself a planner. And one of my goals for this year is to use this planner for the entire year, which I have never done before. I've often started like planners and journals and stuff, but never actually followed through with them. So this year, the one actual like doing that I'm committing to is using this planner for the entire year and just really exploring how structure can support me in my life. So one of the cool things, and I put the link to this planner below. It's by a company called Clever Fox, and this is the Clever Fox Pro. I like the bigger size because I have more space to write. Some of those smaller ones are nice and compact, but I find that I don't have enough space to really use it the way I want. So one of the cool things, so it has like monthly pages, but it also has weekly pages where I can put in there. I don't know if you can see, but I can actually put in there my habits and skills that I want to learn. So what I have going on my habits and skills is, let's see. Okay, so this is this week's that I've filled out. What I'm tracking on my habits and skills is movement, water, meditation, breath work, pleasure, studying, and dancing. So all of these things that really fuel me with that juicy, good energy that I was talking about. So not only am I creating structure for myself, but I'm really tracking and focusing on, excuse me, doing things that make me feel good, that make me feel energized, that make me feel excited for life, that make me feel literally alive in my body, instead of focusing on, I want to make X dollars this month. I want to post 3 times a week on Instagram or whatever it is. Like instead of those linear, masculine like tasks, more self care and cultivating that inner energy. So if that resonates with you, I highly suggest going down in the description and looking up your type on human design. And if you are a generator, possibly going back and listening to what I shared here, because it might really, really support you. I've found that doing it the other way, doing it the manifestor way of trying to initiate things and trying to just take action from my mind, does not create results. And so I really need to create results from my beingness, from my juiciness, from my excitement, from my passion, from my happiness, whatever, you would want to call it, from my body also, making decisions not from my head, but from my body through responding to life. So I'm really excited to just completely 180 the way that I look at life this year, which it already has been. I mean, I think we're on. Okay, it's the 5th, but it's really like a mind bender for me because I've just been doing things from my head for so long, as I'm sure like most of you can resonate. So Anyways, I hope that supports you in some way. I just wanted to come on and share sort of what I'm doing to really support myself and create change for myself in the new year, create, yeah, support for myself to thrive. And this is the way I'm doing it. So I would love to hear from you in the comments if you'd like to share, like, what goals do you have, or what is your approach for this year, or what new things are you trying or committing to that you're excited about? And yeah, please share with me below. I'd love to hear from you. And I hope this video inspired you or supported you in some way or another. And I just also want to say that, we're all designed differently. That's one of the things that this human design has really helped me understand, is that we're all designed so differently, and it's all beautiful, it's all perfect. And that, like, if you're doing life in a way that doesn't really feel good, it feels like, oh, this is just the way that I learned things are supposed to be, then I would definitely suggest looking into human design, because you may be operating in your life not in the way that you were designed to. And so if life is kind of feeling like not resonant or not flowing for you, it might be something really helpful to check out. Again, I put all the links to everything I talked about in the description. So let me know if you lasted through to the end of this video. Put a little heart in the comments so that I know you were here, and let me know what your goals, intentions, commitments are for 2022. So much love, friends. Thank you so much for being here on this channel. I really, really appreciate it. I've poured a lot of love into my YouTube channel in 2021, and it's grown a lot. So I really appreciate all of your love and support and your comments. And let me know too if you have any requests from me, anything that you'd like to see from me on this channel in 2022. As I said, my design is to respond. So if you share what it is that you'd like to see from me, that would help me to respond and create videos from you from a place of response, versus just creating from what I think you'd like to see in my head. Creating from a response to what you actually would like would be much more helpful for me. So yeah, many blessings, Happy New Year, and so, so, so much love, friends. Bye.